I love this question because it really showcases what's happening in our labor market right now. If you're feeling this way, you're not alone. Um, we are going through what's been dubbed the Great Reshuffle. So this is a big trend right now. It's even been named the gig economy. So making a career pivot and becoming a freelancer isn't something you should do, though, without proper planning. The necessary first steps is definitely to meet with other freelancers, I would suggest, in the same line of work and conduct what's called an informational interview. Nowadays, what's really sought after by organizations and hiring managers alike is this breadth of knowledge and experience. So a variety of different skill sets, industries, and experiences is actually now more sought after to have that diversity. What's important to how to make the switch is to have a really strong career brand. And that that career brand term may be a bit foreign to some. And that's why it's really important to hook up with a professional to be able to start to craft that. Because when we look at marketing documents these days, such as your LinkedIn profile, even how you're presenting yourself, to have the language of what's called a value proposition, to be able that elevator pitch to market yourself is so important these days.
Hi, my name is Pascal D'Souza, and this is a segment we do here at Top of Mind called What's on Your Mind? And today we are very pleased to welcome Catherine Crawford. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Before we start, I'd like to introduce Catherine. Catherine is a certified career strategist, a resume strategist, and a psychometric facilitator. She has over 10 years of experience in human resource management and project management, which serves her well in helping her clients achieve their goals. She has a unique set of skills and knowledge that helps her develop organizational teams to their highest potential. We're very lucky to have her here today. Thank you, Catherine.
Oh, thanks for that introduction. I'm excited to be a part of this.
Thank you. Catherine, as you know, Top of Mind is redefining how businesses and accounting professionals connect. We help accounting professionals build their careers with the flexibility they deserve. So we have a couple of interesting and challenging questions to ask you. And in my experience, I found that this happens a lot, but people get comfortable in their jobs. And so what if an accounting professional feels stuck in their current employment? What would you recommend they do?
Yeah, that's a great question. You don't have to continue doing something that you don't enjoy just because it's what you've always done. Careers are adjustable. And if I could stress anything, you really are in control. When working with a career coach such as myself, I help clients really get unstuck or find that all-important career clarity. Many people feel trapped at their jobs for a wide variety of reasons, but commonly find they're pretty dissatisfied with the work they're doing and feel as though they can't leave their position. So understanding what is causing these feelings is the first step to identifying the best course of action. In working with me, I really take clients through an in-depth inventory of your values, ambitions, strengths, personality, and skills to really uncover what's going on, as well as proposing a lot of open-ended questions that get you thinking about what your options are and how to get unstuck.
That's very helpful, Catherine. It's kind of funny. When I started my career many moons ago, I remember my parents, kind of stayed with the same job forever. And when I started moving around a bit, they were kind of surprised. I think in this new generation, people are moving around more than ever.
Yes.
But, there are still people that feel stuck. So that is very helpful. Thank you.
And just to add to that too, that's a great example because we did see our parents or our grandparents stay with one employer for 35 or 40 years. Careers were very linear. That's just not the case these days. Statistically, what we're seeing is that individuals are changing occupations or jobs as much as 7 times in their life,
Wow.
Their career lifespan, I should say. So in the past, the job was really simply just a way to earn a living, right? But today, employees need for personal satisfaction, or striking that appropriate work-life balance have taken greater importance.
That's amazing. 7 times. Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. And speaking of that, I think like in this generation, it seems that people have even multiple jobs or freelance concurrently. And so what should an accounting professional do if they would like to leave their full-time employment job and become self-employed or a freelancer? What are the necessary first steps that you recommend?
Yeah, so this is a big trend right now. It's even been named the gig economy. So, making a career pivot and becoming a freelancer isn't something you should do, though, without proper planning. The necessary first steps is definitely to meet with other freelancers, I would suggest, in the same line of work and conduct what's called an informational interview. You're going to want to get a pulse on the profession as well as the labor market, as well as ask them questions such as, what is like being a freelancer? What do you like most about this line of work? What are some of the challenges? And how did you get started? And that last question is going to give really important clues about how you should start to structure and what your career path, what you need to get in place. Maybe it's a business plan first and foremost. Maybe it's just connecting with the right people. And it's all just to add to that as well. It's important to keep in touch with a network of other freelancers who do similar work in order to have that professional group to lean on.
Wow, that is helpful. And even in my career, it's kind of funny. I've started freelancing a little bit myself and doing some consulting work, and it is interesting, and that's super helpful. I met up with people that I know that have done it to get their advice and experience. There's some other basic things like maybe you want to incorporate as well. To get some
Yes.
beneficial tax treatments. I know that's more of an accounting thing, but that helps as well. So
Yes,
something to
that's
look at.
invaluable advice that other freelancers can help you understand.
Great. And then one more question, Catherine. Accounting professionals have so much business insight and skills with numbers, especially
Mhm.
that their skills often can be used in other careers. What should an accounting professional do if they do not want to stay in the accounting field, but want to make use of their expertise and experience?
Yeah, I love this question because it really showcases what's happening in our labor market right now. If you're feeling this way, you're not alone. We are going through what's been dubbed the Great Reshuffle. Workers are changing jobs and positions in record numbers. Many employees have set up their own business, while others have sought better pay or more flexible employment, or maybe even changed careers altogether. The first thing you should do is, when wanting to make maybe a bit of a career change is research the roles that still regard your expertise and your experience as adding value to their organization. So you can absolutely change industries or you can change job titles, but your transferable skills, your education, and your experience will still be really sought after. You just need to be able to do the research to find what roles are out there and how that will be of value to other organizations. And we talked about before that careers used to be linear and they're no longer. Nowadays, what's really sought after by organizations and hiring managers alike is this breadth of knowledge and experience. So a variety of different skill sets, industries, and experiences is actually now more sought after to have that diversity.
Interesting, very interesting. I've been in this career for a number of years as an accountant. I'm an accountant professional myself, and I've seen so many people move careers because understanding numbers helps many different types of like sales and
Yes.
marketing and HR. And so I've seen a lot of people move in different career paths, and their understanding of numbers and stats, etc., really helps them kind of prosper in those career opportunities. So that is very
Absolutely. And also just to add to that too, if you kind of think of our skill set and our education as that foundation piece, but then, when you're starting to look at how else you can use these skill sets in different job titles or organizations, What's important to how to make the switch is to have a really strong career brand. And that may, that career brand term may be a bit foreign to some. And that's why it's really important to hook up with a professional to be able to start to craft that. Because when we look at marketing documents these days, such as your LinkedIn profile, even how you're presenting yourself, to have the language of what's called a value proposition, to be able that elevator pitch to market yourself is so important these days.
That's amazing. Career branding. That's I have to say, I don't think I've heard of that, but that makes absolute sense. Using branding in so many different aspects of in life in general. So that makes a lot of sense. Well, thank you, Catherine, for that helpful advice. Really appreciate that, making the time and sharing with us your valuable insight.
Great.
I hope this was helpful to our members of Top of Mind, and we look forward to our next episode. Thank you, Catherine.
Thanks for having me.